Good evening and welcome to Tuesday at Two Lines. What's up, everyone? Hopefully you've had a good week so far, but it's only Tuesday, so we still have a lot of week left. But I'm glad you're here. If you decide to hang out tonight, we'll talk some slot cars. Got some things on tap to talk about, but like always, wherever the chat wants to go. Hey, Gary, welcome. Hey, Tom, good evening. Good to have you. Chris is in the house. Ernest is here. Hey, Ernest. Bob. What's up, Bob? And let's see, Bill from Castle Rock. Good evening. HSF. Hey, Jerry. What's up? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Hey, John. Good to see you. Nick is in the house. Bo from across the pond. Welcome, Bo. Thanks for being here. But what's going on in your slot car world? In mine, it's a good day for the channel. I do want to say right off the bat that this live stream is sponsored by Super Tires, and I just had an awesome conversation when Pamela called me and asked me about how we might be able to partner, and it was just really a really good conversation. I really enjoyed it, and kind of humbled that they would want to partner with me. So what that means for you guys is I did get a box from Super Tire. She sent me a box. And in this box are some tires, but some stickers, some decals, some water slide decals. And since I'm building a couple of cars, those water slide decals will come in handy. But very cool from Super Tire is this is their 30th year. And so she sent some great celebrating 30-year stickers. And so what we're going to do for the next couple of months, when we go live on Tuesdays, we're going to give away to somebody who's in the chat during the live stream. And I haven't figured out a great way to do this, because with comments you can put a URL in and have a name picker pick out of the comments. But I really wanted to reward the guys who hang out here on Tuesday nights. And so you're going to get 3 sets of tires from Super Tires for whatever cars you want. And in this box, I've got some of the tires for the C1, which we're going to run tonight, and some 1401s, 1402s, 1403s. And she did a run of these cool colors for an event, and she sent me some of those. So those things are awesome. So we're going to give away some tires. So sometime around the 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to pick somebody that will be our first week's winner. And this is because Super Tires, and Pamela, she is going to come on the live stream here in the next couple of weeks. And we're going to talk about the 3 Super Tires, and her continuing the legacy of the company. And she was very adamant that she didn't want to do this with the channel. As you can see, I've got my Super Tires vinyl sign that Pamela sent me probably 2 years ago. It's been hanging there ever since. it's what tires I use on my track. Now on the wood track, we use urethanes. And so Bob, who's in the chat, we use Bobcat tires on that track on the cars that we have. We don't have a lot of oval cars yet, but we're working on that. And we've got some Paul Gage tires on some cars for that. But she was very adamant that she didn't want to interfere with any other brand. And I thought that was super cool. Like if I had an opportunity, she's like, don't feel like you can't mention anybody else, and don't feel like you, it's just all about us. But I just thought it was great that they wanted to partner with me. So hopefully you guys don't mind. I want to talk a little bit about Super Tires at some point in every episode, just because I think it's cool that they're doing this prize package for all of you. She asked, what can I do? And what does a sponsorship look like? I'm like, I just want to collaborate with you in any way. But I'd really just love to see you give some love to the subscribers of the channel. And so that's what we're doing. So the package that you win each week, and we're going to do this, I think, through September, the end of September. Every week we're just going to give out a prize package, and you're going to get some stickers, some Super Tire stickers, and 3 sets of whatever tires you would like to test and try on your track. And that is awesome. So I'm excited about that. So we'll do that later. But I'm glad you guys are here. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. Hey, Greg from Australia, thanks for tuning in, man. You're a long way off, and I'm glad you're a part of this. Thanks for being here. John, ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again for Trackside Live. Yeah. Hey, John. John, you would be happy with me. I finally had an opportunity to tune the C1 Corvette, and I'm not completely finished with it. Ended up running some laps on Sunday night, and I got the tires from Pamela, and so I wanted to try the Super Tires on here because I'll be running it on this track, my Carrera plastic track. But I did some tuning to the chassis, the pod, just the baseline, like normal. I did change the braid out, and I put. I'm kind of a fan of the slotted braid. I know different people like different stuff, but I really like the slotted braid. My desk is a mess at the moment. Got a package from Home Racing World today, which means that in this, I did cut the tape, but I haven't opened it up yet, is Dusty's car and my car from the Home Racing World proxy, which our cars didn't do awesome. We sent them in for the proxy back in January, and they didn't make it in time. And so Harry kept them. So we'll open those box up and check them out. They did some work to them, so they're probably running a heck of a lot better than they did when they left here, because we kind of got into a rush. But so we'll talk about that tonight. We will talk about my next proxy build, the Labor Day Showdown with the late model kits that you get from Slot Car Corner. I just had an order for some parts today that I had to get in so that I can finish the late model build. And I've got a base coat paint on it, but I don't know where I'm going to go from a decoration standpoint. So I still need to figure out decals and things like that. Going back to the C1. The C1's running pretty good. I'm running the track at 12 volts. It's running around 8.2s, 8.3s. I think 8.3 is the fastest time I've got with it right now, which is pretty good. I mean, that's faster than the Group 2s. It's really a smooth car. It's pretty quiet. I need to do a little bit of work on the guide because the guide does clack a little bit with the seams in the Carrera track. Easy fix. I just haven't done that yet. The other thing I haven't done is I haven't really worked with the stance. It's still a little tall on the front, and I've got it pretty level right now, but I do want to get that stance just a little bit better. And another thing I want to do is when it goes into a left-hand turn, yes, left-hand turn, it's making a noise. And it might be, I may have just figured it out. Because left hand, but I think a right-hand turn, I think I got some tire rub. I think that's what I'm dealing with. So I may have to tighten up the body float a little bit. But I need to work on that. So John, that's for you. That little bit of tuning. So, but runs really good. It's a fun car. I think this will be a fantastic class. So I can't wait till a few more of these cars. Right now, as much as I like my Shadow, this might be my favorite MR slot car. So I hate that there was a bunch of drama around this car. The hobby doesn't need that. And I'm hoping that all of you out there involved have the opportunity to fix that, because it's important that everyone continues to do what they're doing in the hobby. So that's one of the things I worked on. Finally got on the track Sunday evening, which wasn't really the plan, I don't think, but we made it happen. So pretty excited about that. What else? What else did I have? The Home Racing World, that build. Oh, before we get too deep in and I start reading comments, I haven't really paid much attention to the comments. Sorry, guys. I got a phone call from Bruce at Cincy Slots yesterday. I had a great conversation with him. And Bruce wanted to tell me about a new tire truer that they are releasing. And I guess it looks like, based on my feed, that he has posted the video about that tire truer. And so Seb built an awesome digital Carrera track down in Cincinnati. He's friends of Bruce's. Bruce and Jamie have been working on this project, and it looks like it's a really nice truer. It's all 3D printed, and it really, where it shines, and what Bruce told me, is truing Carrera axles and Carrera 124 scale tires. So if you've ever tried to do that, you know how difficult that is. And so this truer was built around being able to true those Carrera fronts and rears, 132nd scale and 124 scale. And that's usually the problem, is the 124s are a little tough. So check it out. Go to cincyslots.com. It should be posted out there. It's a great price. It comes with a reciprocator, sanding blocks, everything you need. I think it's a well thought out idea. They've done a lot of prototypes and testing, and finally released it today. So congratulations, Bruce. Also, I had a chance to ask Bruce about what was going on. And some of you know that Cincy Slots is just a small part of a larger company called Green Parts Sales, Auto Parts Sales. And so Bruce and his family have had a parts business where they sell Ford, Lincoln, Mercury discontinued parts. And the family decided it was time to move on, I think, and they've sold the inventory from that business. And so I was asking him, hey, what's going on this fall? Well, nothing's changing from a Cincy Slots perspective. He's like, man, Marty, it's all good. Calm down. So he hasn't announced what he's still trying to decide what we're going to race this fall and this winter. And so hopefully he'll figure that out here over the next month or so and get that announced so we can start, tuning cars and prepping for the race season. But all of you who race at Cincy Slots, don't you worry. Things are great. And we're going to continue on. And it'll be in the same building. That's right. That nothing's changing. Just that the inventory in the warehouse piece is going to be moving out. And maybe that will make more room for a slot car track. I don't know. Maybe Bruce can expand. Who knows? We didn't talk about that. That's just, that's just me. But anyway, so congratulations to Bruce and his family. That's exciting for them. But Bruce is still going to carry on at Cincy Slots. And so, yeah, don't forget about him. And now he's got the new Truer. So if you are in need of a tire Truer and want to give a try, we've tested a handful of them here on this channel, and all of them have worked really well. But I really think this one is going to, for the price and what you get, I think it's going to be good. So check it out. Go to cincyslots.com. And also, Bruce is a great source for super tires. Just to throw that plug out there. So what else? What's going on in your slot car world? Let me hit some more of the who else is in the chat. Hey Sean, what's up? Trying to stay out of the heat. To Chris is the official greeters of Two Lines. Hey B-Rads, what's up? Hopefully everything's going well. Hey Mike, hello slot car freaks. Yep, that's us. Hey Mike. Good evening, Marty, and the entire chat. Wings of War Racing, nice. I like the logo. That's cool. John Tucci. John, I see, was building and working on a great-looking Ozzy Osbourne late model from the Three Amigos 3D printing. And so if you haven't been to Home Racing World to see that, that car looks great, John. And I'm sure, based on your tuning ability, it probably is going to be fast as well. Congrats on knocking on that 5K. Yeah, thanks. I guess that is one other thing I can talk a little bit about. Over the weekend, I hit 5,000 subscribers a few different times. I looked once and I was at 4,999. And then I woke up, I was at 5,004. And then I refreshed a few hours later and I was at 4,997. And then I was 5,001. And then I was 4,999 again. And so I lost some subscribers and gained some, but we've hit the 5,000 threshold. And if you'd asked me when I started this channel, if I ever dreamt that I would get to that point, I would tell you no. I did have some goals for the channel. I did have a goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers. Raul and I used to talk about our channel goals. What did we want to do? And I just wanted to create a community that people could belong to and we could have fun talking about slot cars. The other thing I wanted to do was hit 1,000 subscribers. And the other one was kind of the joke between my brother and I, was that maybe the channel would make enough money that I could buy a slot car. Well, I've bought a couple slot cars at this point, and that's been awesome. And it's because of all you guys. Just, coming every week and watching my content, whether it's good or bad or indifferent, whether you really needed to know about the video or not, you still supported me, and that means a lot. And that's probably why part of that is, now Super Tires is on board and got great relationships with, I feel like I've got great relationships with lots of great slot car companies out there, like Greg at Velocity, Slot Car Racing Parts, and I met Steve at Slot Car Corner. I've yet to meet the folks at LEB. Hopefully one day I'll get a chance to do that and get to meet up with them. And Oliver, of course, I've had many conversations with Oliver now, and hopefully get to partner with Oliver. Just a great guy in some things moving forward. Maybe do some more announcing races, things like that. So, but I've gotten to do some things that I never thought I would get to do because of the Slot Car channel. Went to Michigan, raced at the Nationals. Steve Aaron's track, Steve Holzman's track, Bruce's home track, like I've gotten to race Butch's wood track. Like I've gotten to race on some really cool layouts that if I hadn't jumped in the hobby, I would have never had the opportunity to see or do. Um, you know, Marco at Electric Dreams, shout out to him. He's tried to get me out to the slot at nationals, and I haven't been able to make that happen. Not going to be there this year. Maybe next year will be the year. We'll see. But you know, I got the invite, and that's pretty cool. Helped a racing team make it to Italy. That was a highlight of the year so far. My friends that I've met through the hobby went up and won the Michigan 24. That's pretty cool. So I've got to do a ton of things with this channel, but most important, I've got to meet a bunch of great people in person and on the internet, in the chat that are important people in my life. All of you are important people in my life. Tuesdays is important to me. Last week when I couldn't do it because I was on vacation, it really bothered me that we didn't gather and that I messed that up. But my time with my kids was phenomenal. The reason why we went to see the kids, but my oldest daughter, Maddie and her husband, Kellen, they bought my Toyota 4Runner. And because they were in need of just a little better car. And so we made them a great deal. And good news, they sold their Jeep that they were trying to sell, and they sold it for enough to pay me. So now they've got a great 4Runner and no car payment, so that they can eventually look at buying a house. So you help your kids however you can sometimes. So yeah, I had to go find a new car, or a new to me car, but it's all right. I'm proud of my kids. They're doing great. So I really appreciate all the well wishes. Okay, enough of that. But Salty, man, thanks. Appreciate the congratulations. 5,000. Never thought I'd get there, but now that I'm here, it means a lot. It's a great community. Shotgun Dave. Dave did some work. Dave and George and Harry did some work on my car for the proxy, but I do, since you're up, I do want to show you guys the body that I've been working on. So here you go, Dave. I got it painted white. And if you go to the local dirt track, all of the late models, most of them are painted white with a big colorful number. Mainly because I think it stands out. It's easy to get your sponsor's name to look good on the side of a white car on a dirt track. But now that they do all the vinyl, there's some pretty wild graphics. And so I may play around with, since it's got a white base coat, the clear decals should pop off of this pretty good, this white. But I was thinking maybe it's a 2 lines livery somehow. But I think my stickers are too big to use. And so I thought maybe I could do an oversized, like kind of cool thing with the star wrapping up over, and yeah, I don't know. So we'll play with it. But that's my late model. Got some parts coming, the wheels and tires, so that I can get this thing finished and sent out, and so that it can get there in plenty of time for the proxy race. So, and Dusty's building one too. He hasn't decided what color he's doing his, but I'm real happy with how the white turned out. It looks good. So, Dave, thanks, man, for doing those cars. They look great, and hopefully will be a lot of fun. Bo, hey, Timothy, good evening. Greg, Cincinnati Racing heading to slot at Nationals. for TD racing this weekend. Yeah, let's give a shout out to Steve Holzman. Steve is headed to the Slot at Nationals to represent all of us Ohio guys, but he's from Kentucky. But we'll take him. And represent Cincy Slots at the Slot at Nationals, and I hope he gets to meet some great people. Gets to meet some of the people we've been watching on these live streams, and hopefully goes and has a great race. And our friends Corey and Paul are going, I think. Maybe even Matt from CG Slots is going. So that's cool. Hey, Kevin. Welcome. Hey, Vince. Oscar. So, yeah, working on the chassis for the race, and that chassis has got a slot invasion guide. And that comes with those Three Amigos 3D kits. So, Oscar, thanks for doing what you do, man. I appreciate you. Dave, happy Tuesday. Dave's video this weekend was really, really good. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I always really like his content. He does a great job. I love the history piece that he tries to weave into his stories all the time. It's really good content. No hats, they don't fit anymore. John, I had somebody tell me that I need to get new glasses because these are too big. And I can't get them to sit right on my face anymore. Hey, DW. Yep, Oscar. Hey, Steve. Hey, Bill. Mr. Enabler. We must be talking about John Albright. White Wolf. Good evening. Daryl. Marty made it home. I did make it home, Daryl. I did. It's hot out there, though. Question. Anybody know what size grub screws come with the CB design wheels? Did somebody answer that already? I think, John, they're M2. And I think they're maybe 3 millimeter. I just read this someplace. I think it's on the Slot Car Corner page for the Home Racing World Labor Day proxy. On that link. Hey, Chris. Good evening. Hey, Ryan. Hope you're doing well. Ryan, how are the boat races? Those boats are insane, man, how fast they are. Hope you had a good time. As you said, you've been going to them for a while. Hey, John Mark. Your C1 is up next. I will be tuning it maybe later tonight. I still need to get my exercise in tonight. Hey, Hillbilly. Good evening. Man, we got a great crowd tonight. Bill from Castle Rock. What's in the box? All right, we'll get to the box here. It's late. I'm here for a good time, not for a long time tonight. Hey, Dave. We'll try to keep it up, keep it moving for you so you don't miss much. Hey, Steve. Steve, yeah, man, good luck. Go get him. We're all rooting for you. At least all of us Cincy guys are. So I hope you're doing well and hope your cars are ready. If you need any tuning device, let me know. Happy to help you out if you need it. So what else do we have? What's in the box? Okay, let's jump into the box. So the first thing in the box is the Maverick. The Maverick has been in Missouri for quite a while. And looks like got the rear end narrowed a little bit. And looks like it's in good shape. Looks like got some good body float. There you go. The Maverick. So now now we might have enough of these showdown cars to actually have 4 to race on the wood oval. So that's pretty cool. And this is, oh, look at that. Well, that's cool. Harry, thanks, man. Looks like we got some goodies from the race. And then here's Dusty's car. Check that out. It looks like a bomber from the old wood track we used to. Even got the mud on the sides. Love it. So yeah, we've got enough cars to do some racing on the oval now. 1/32 scale, these dirt cars. So we'll have to get that going. And then there were some goodies. From Professor Motor, we got some. Hey Pete, thanks for joining, man. Hey Brandon. Steve's heading to Cali for some total domination racing. There we go. Yeah. So we got some grease. For some gears. Check it out. We got some Home Racing World stickers for the pit box. Which, oh, look at that. I would say Miss Cindy made that with her laser engraver. Little leather keychain. Very nice. And then we've got some obstacles to put on the track. Some cones to add to our scenery. Well, that's awesome. Harry, thanks, man. I appreciate that. So that was what was in that box. Very good stuff. Yeah. Got our cars back. It'll be good to, we haven't run these in a long time. So it'll be good to see how well they do. What else do we have going on in the chat? Hey, Jerry. Leave in the morning? That's cool, Steve. Hey, have a safe flight. Ernest. What? No way. That's awesome. Thanks, Super Tired. Yeah. Yep, they're awesome. Hey, Doug. Good to have you. What else? Hey, Alan. Alan, guys, is a great modeler. He does some great paint jobs on cars, and every once in a while I'll get a text from Alan with his latest creation. And he's been some paint jobs that I've been working on. I got the decals for those. That's one of my projects for this weekend, to work on those. But Alan does some great work. So Alan, keep it up, and can't wait till we jump back on the track. I know I've talked about hosting a race. I'd love for you guys to come back. We'll get something figured out, but with the schedule, it's just been kind of impossible. Metal, what's up, brother? Todd, how are you? How's Chloe? The pup. Hope she's doing well. Let's see. Muffman79. Hello for joining tonight. Thanks for jumping in the chat. I love it when people that don't normally put messages out there in the chat jump in, say hello. It's good to know that you're out there. Just awesome time to be a slot car enthusiast. Ernest, I would say yes. Like, we talk about that all the time. Like, it is a, I feel like we're in the Reformation period of slot cars. You know, the height was in the late 60s, right? And at its peak, but I feel like we're on a pretty good incline of growth, and just some great things in the hobby. That's what's exciting about being around. Urethane on your wood and silicone on plastic. That's what we're doing here. Works real well. Hey, Hank. Hank sent me some stickers. He's got that Hank the Crank logo, and sent me a T-shirt. Hank, thanks, man. I'll be wearing that T-shirt. Let's see, what else do we have? Steve Sweeney is in the house. Hey, Steve. Good to have you. Yep, Alan is a master painter. Steve, and give Super Tires a shout out. Yeah, we like our Super Tires at Cincy Slots. They work really well on that track. Greg. Yeah, Greg, glad you're here live, man. I know a lot of people catch it after on the replay. But I think it's always good to be here live. So, we've got 96 people, 43 likes. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. But we'll give some Super Tires away tonight. That's going to be fun. It is, it was, the conversation with Pamela was like, we want to give to the hobby. It's important to us. We have a long history in it. 30 years. It's a long time to have a company that's providing, great things for the hobby. So yeah, it's pretty exciting for them. And they're always doing something, nice for, people reach out to them and say, hey, can you donate things? And she's always great to donate. But yeah, this gives her an opportunity to have an impact on the people who hang out here, which is cool. No, Daryl, you're right. It won't be long. Race season will be here before we know it. And since we don't know what the first class will be, it'll be interesting to see how we kick off the season. Bruce did talk about possibly doing, not always doing one analog and one digital race on Thursdays, that there might be a month where they do two digital, like a 132nd and 124. But he hasn't made that decision yet. So, DJ Patrick, hi guys. I got my Asphalt late model kit, thinking of a livery. Patrick, that's awesome that you got the kit. Really curious to see what you end up doing. Remember that George, Area 51, he's telling people to go out there and post your liveries on the Home Racing World Facebook and in the forums, so that people can see what liveries are being made for them. And so once you get your car painted up, post some pictures out there so we can all see what they look like. Steve is hoping to have a race at your place in August. Nice. I'm looking forward to that, Steve. I need to do the same thing. Steve, messy desk is a sign of genius. I would love to be able to claim that, Steve, but I know better. Hey, Rob. Rob, sorry I missed you the other weekend. Sounds like you guys had a great time. Greg's. Tires. Yeah. You can never have too many tires, I don't think. Working on paint for my Labor Day entry. Bill, nice. A wild red, white, and blue scheme. It's starting to look too wild. I'm sure it'll be fine. And Bill, sounds like you can build a pretty fast car. I think your car did really well at the proxy. Hey, Dusty. Dusty, my car, we were kind of middle of the pack, maybe actually towards the bottom. We weren't too fast, but we had fun building them. Let's see, what else do we have? John D, good evening, or good day from Melbourne. Wow. Nick, it's way faster without the body. Are you talking about the C1? So I have to tell this story. I felt like the magnet was way too high in the pod, that it was not, and too small of a magnet that it wasn't having any impact on the track. And then when I ran it without the body, the thing ran like a 6.7. And I was like, yeah, I think the magnet is having an impact. And so I took the magnet out, and the car, it slowed down a little bit. But actually, it's more fun to drive. So, but yeah, Dusty's right. It was way faster without the body. If you find that the C1 front end sits up higher on the Carrera track, don't be afraid to shave the bottom of the guide barrel a little bit. Okay. Bottom of the guide barrel. Okay. Well, I mean, I think the guide, the guide is deep enough, John. It's just that I've got the front end set up. I feel like it's pretty good. The fronts without the body, the fronts aren't touching. They're just slightly off. But as soon as I put the body on, there's enough weight in the body to settle that down. Barely touching the track. But it would be nice just to get that nose, just the nose of the body down. And I can probably do that with the body mount just slightly. But I wouldn't want to go too far because it won't take much. All right. So this past week, I was out visiting my kids, and I think I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. John Albright sent me a message. He's like, hey, are you watching that build that Kevin from Racetrack Scenics, which we're going to have Kevin on. I thought I was going to have a guest this week. And so I kind of told Kevin that maybe we would, maybe in a couple of weeks, we'd have him come on to talk about that track build. And it seems like he's doing a lot of tracks right now, which is really pretty cool. But Kevin built a track out in Colorado, and John's like, hey, I think this track's pretty close to your kids. And then he posted the pictures, and I thought I recognized like where the house was located. Not like specifically, but just like it looked like northern Colorado. And so like, this is cool. Well, John introduced Steve and I on Facebook, said, hey, Marty, Steve, Marty, you guys should meet. Marty's kids are close to you. And Steve gave me an invite the next time I came out to Colorado to come see the track. And so thanks to Dave Kennedy, I had the box from Power Hobby, and I was going to take 2 cars and my controller. And I got to looking at that box, and I'm like, that's like 15 cars. And so I took a couple fly cars. I took the George's car that he sent me that runs so good on this track. The 3D printed car. I took a couple Thunder Slots, a couple of NSRs, just a variety of cars. And since we were driving out, it was easy. And then I went to Steve's to the track. And I released a video this past weekend. And the track was amazing. Like Steve's property is beautiful. Thank you, Steve, and your wife for allowing us to come out. And I took Kellen, my son-in-law, and we went and ran some laps. And I've got a couple cars I have to repair because we tore a bumper off and had a front wheel come off a Reba slot. And anyway, so I need to do some repair work, but we had a lot of fun. And once I settled into that track, my lap times kept getting a little lower. And Steve was having problems with his Thunder slot. He has the one of the latest versions of the Ferrari, the Galston livery, the orange and brown. And he said, it just doesn't really run very well. And so I'm like, let me see it. And so I just did kind of like basic stuff, just loosened the pod a little bit. It was a little tight. There wasn't a lot of body float. Added some body float. Just try to match my Ferrari, because my Ferrari, Steve drove my Ferrari and he was running like some really quick times, 10.4s, 10.5s, and was just getting faster and faster as he got used to it. And those were the fastest laps of the night with that Thunder slot. So great car on that wood track. But it has a great flow. It has enough technical. It has some little tricky spots, little kinks that just kind of throw you off and that move the weight around on the car. Outside, it was just had a beautiful view. It was just a wonderful experience. And Steve was a great host. And we were there about 2.5 hours. And I was like, I got to shut this down or I'd be here another 2.5 hours. And so I wrapped it up and just took some footage. And if you guys listen to the video, there were some audio issues, mainly because Steve likes to play music, and I didn't think about it until I was editing the video and realized that background music was in throughout all of the video. And so I had to try to edit that audio out of the background, and it caused some weirdness with the audio. So I apologize for the audio, but I was getting, every time I'd upload it, I was getting copyright strikes, and get a few of those and they shut your channel down, and I didn't want to take any chances. So that's what I did. But amazing track. Kevin killed it, like knocked it out of the park. Super smooth. Like it was just kind of a dream to drive on. The lane spacing was great. It was very competitive. We would jump on there with different cars. The Revo Group 2s were a blast. We ran the Porsche 911s. He ran the Newman. I ran the Repsol. That was a good car on that track for me. Was moving really good. My Thunder Slots ran great. My NSRs, I found that my NSRs needed a little more weight. They were fast, but the shifts and the kinks really upset those cars, and they just needed a little more weight, which I think that cars on a wood track do require a little more weight. But all in all, my cars ran pretty good. I think my fast lap was a 10.69 maybe. And I wasn't quite as fast as Steve, but I was getting some pretty consistent laps there towards the end, having a lot of fun and staying in the slot a little better. The first hour I did a lot of deslotting, but just a great time. And that goes back to talking about the community that we have here, and, you know, getting an invite to somebody that I never met before. And, you know, that's kind of a difficult thing, to invite somebody over that you've never met, over to your track and into your home. And Steve was just so gracious, and it was just a great experience, and I really appreciated it. And it probably wouldn't have happened if I didn't have this channel, and my kids, you know, obviously were 15 minutes away, which was pretty cool. So beautiful track. Check out the video if you haven't seen it. Racetrack Scenics did an awesome job building it. It's great. So we're going to have Kevin on to talk about that track and some other stuff here in the next couple of weeks. On this Saturday, I'm going to do Saturday afternoon here. Ian and Doug from Magnetic Racing are going to jump on, and we're going to record a live stream, because their time difference, it's just tough. Ask Dave Slot R. But they're going to jump on. I've had a lot of conversations with these guys. They're fantastic. They sent me the light towers that I have. They were super gracious doing that, and it meant a lot. But I've been trying to get them on the show for Tuesday nights for a long time, and it just can't fit in their schedule. So we're going to meet up on Saturday and record. We may not go live because I don't want, Araris, Carrera Joe, and Peter from Show Me Slots, and Raul. Those guys go live on Saturday morning, and I don't want to, step on anybody's toes and go live at the same time somebody else is doing a live, even though we're going to meet about noon Eastern time. So I don't think it would bump into anybody on Saturday, but I'm probably just going to pre-record it and just release it maybe later that day. But we'll see. But I'm excited about talking about those guys and see what they've got going on. But they will be in the United States at the Slotted Nationals. Steve will actually get to meet them, which is cool. But Actually, I think he already did in Italy, but that great people. They're across the pond. I would never have met them if it wasn't for this hobby. So cool stuff. So I've got a lot of cool things. So I've got Pamela that's going to come on. I've got Kevin, Racetrack Scenics. I've got Ian and Doug from Magnetic Racing. So we got some great things lined up before we get to race season. But race season will be here in October. And guys, it will be here before you know it. Next week is our county fair here. If you remember last year, it's a crazy busy time for me. So because of my job, it's one of our biggest marketing events of the year. We buy a lot of animals. And I remember last year I had a bunch of questions about what kind of animals and what I did with all the animals that I bought. So all these big races you're doing, when you get back to Cincy Slots, you will have to drive with one hand behind your back. That's right. Good one, Daryl. Hey, Marty. Thanks for the message this week, man. I owe you a more detail in my response, but I wanted to get something back to you real quick. So in case you needed to make a decision. What super tires did I use for the C1? They are the C1 tires are the ST1204Rs. There you go. So I've got a couple sets. So there you go, Chris. Orange super tires would look good on my NSR. Yeah. Tim, let's see. 1402s, 1403s. I think all those fit on the Mosler. I don't know. Anybody out there, what do you put on your Mosler if you're running super tires? Hey, Michael Squire. I don't know if I have the 1403s in orange because Dusty was wanting a set for his more 1402s. Chris, you love your C1? Yeah, and it's a good car. I do have the camera up. Maybe I'll run some laps. I did post a little snippet of a few laps from the other night. Let's see. Yeah, Chris, it looks like a great tire tour from Cincy Slots. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. They've done a nice job developing that. Robert, good evening, fellow slotters. I think the advantage it's going to have is if you're like truing silicones, which take forever, you can kind of set that and go away, and it'll work with that reciprocator. So that's kind of nice. Just what I need is another truer, but I like what I see. Yeah. Big thanks to Home Racing World. Harry, George, Shotgun received my jalopy and a box of goodies yesterday. Now to get back to building. Yeah, DW, that's awesome. I got mine too. This will be fun. The features on that tire truer are fantastic. Yeah, B-Rads. I think it's gonna be really good. Hopefully, hopefully Bruce can keep up with orders. Hey Daniel. Good evening. Never late. We always have the replay. It's all good. Yep, there you go. Shotgun says, thanks for letting us play with your car. Yeah, the participating's fun. Like that's, my car didn't do awesome, but it was fun having it in. I need to go back and rewatch some of it. But it was fun. It's always fun having a car in the mix. Let's see here. We got a bunch of guys in the chat. We almost have 100 people. So that means everybody that's in the chat has an opportunity to win Was looking for paint for my Randy's Donuts by Magnetic Racing. Oh, you were out looking for Elmer. That's cool. That's a great trackside, like Randy's Donuts. So I would put that. That's something I would put by my track. I've got my Show Me Slots garage, which is one of my favorite pieces. It's fun, and I appreciate Peter sending it to me. You made some good starts. Can't wait to see what's next. Yeah, Michael, that's. I tell you what, Michael Squire can build some cars. Question: with the MR slot car C1, what super tires? What did you do to help the stance? So, setting up the front end, Chris, helped the stance a lot. It brought the nose down and it doesn't ride so high. But going around the track, if I put it on camera, you'll see that the nose does still ride a tad high. So I haven't fixed it completely. And then I just showed you the number for the tires. Hub, what's up? Good morning. You're off to work, I'm sure. Have a good day. Hey, Greg. Welcome. So at work, hang in there, man. You got this. Hope you're doing well. What else? Hey, I'm headed up to Norwalk, Ohio on Thursday for Night of Fire. Nice. Norwalk. Got to remember where Norwalk is. I think I've looked it up before. Norwalk, Ohio. You're 133 miles from me. Huron County. Oh, you're up on the lake near Sandusky. Gotcha. So you'll be coming up 75? Is that how you'll get there? Looks like that's the route. Yep. 1204 S's. Thanks, Dusty. Remember to tighten your grub nuts. Hey, Rerun. Yeah, thanks, man. That's cool. 5K, never thought that would happen, but it did. And it's all thanks to you guys. Let's see here. First is for the screws behind Carrera holder, second for screws in front, and third is for the elder version of the Porsche 917K. Yeah, John, for sure, man. I appreciate that statement. And you are 100% correct. Man, thanks. That means a lot. There's a lot of great channels out there. I should have stepped into sub last week, not having. Dusty, yeah, you could have done that. I could just teach you how to turn this on and just go live. Thanks, Greg. Yeah, it was good. It was good hanging with my kids. We had a great time. You also got to meet derelicts like me. Jerry, yes. I mean, we had fun though. That was a great day. Love getting to meet all the people out here. Hey, Dale, welcome. Yeah, JD John, good times. This is a good time. Who or why do people unsubscribe? Mike, it's probably, there are people who delete their accounts. People get frustrated and just, sign off and log out and delete the account. So I have some of it is probably that. Most of it's probably that. When you get up in these numbers, which still baffle me a little bit, but I think that you do deal with some of that. And, there are a few people that probably watch one of my videos and get frustrated and say, this guy's full of crap and then unsubscribe. but hopefully I don't have a lot of that. But that's probably what's going on. The white background will make the decals pop. Cool, man. Thanks, Dave. I'll reach out to you to see to kind of tell you what I'm thinking and see what you think. I ask that question often, Mike. I have fluctuations all the time. Yeah, Todd, I think it really, I don't think most of it is like anything facetious. I think it's just, I'm not sure that you have people getting angry and unsubscribing. I think that there are just a lot of people that are into YouTube for a while and then they get out. And when they get out, they just delete everything. My daughters are like that with social media. They'll be on social media for a while and then all of a sudden I'll see that they deleted their account. And then 6 months later, they'll reactivate their account because they want to know what's going on Instagram or whatever. So I think that that's probably what we're dealing with most of the time. Wrap the sticker like NASCAR around the body. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, like I was saying, it's like it could be like a big oversized kind of thing where you cut out for the pieces. I could see, something along those lines. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Hopefully, it looks good when I'm done. They come white from default. That makes sense. So the easy thing is just to throw some vinyl stickers on it and go. Believe it or not, white race cars dissipate heat better. Hey, Ron, you're fine, man. Don't worry about being late. I just appreciate that you made it. Do I need a digital set to run a computer lap race program on my track, or can I do it on my analog career track? Okay, so you don't need a digital set. You can run certain computer programs, but you'll need hardware, Patrick. You'll either need to watch my video on how to make hardware for Arduino and run from a computer. You can run Smart Race in analog mode. You can run fast laps on a computer using an Arduino or TrackMate hardware. There are lots of options. So you do not have to have a digital set. Now, the digital does make it easy using Smart Race to lap count and time using the digital set, but you don't have to. And Patrick, send me a message. I'm happy to elaborate on that. Because I've done a couple videos on like creating your own using infrared sensors, using guide sensors. I've used a handful of different sensors, and all of them have their own little quirks to them. And the next thing is I want to order TrackMates to test it and see how accurate each of them are. So if I'm running TrackMate on one computer and running fast laps using the Arduino, do I get the same lap times? I should get very similar lap times. It should be very, very close. But that would be a cool test, I think. A hot girl subbed my channel for a couple days or so. The picture and the name implied trolls. Rats. I've had a couple of those. I've had a few like offer me certain services too. Yeah, I just delete those. Unsubscribe. The Reds got back-to-back homers. Dusty, are you watching baseball? Okay. What have you done with my brother? Jerry, you're right. I'm white and the low budget racers don't bother to paint. Yeah, that makes sense. I am a low budget racer. That's right. Which is why Daryl doesn't. He is not a low budget racer. That's why he doesn't like white liveries. Speaking of Ohio slot car racers, been hanging with the Ohio Hopra HO guys, another group of absolute masters of the hobby. Frank, they did a race in Dayton, and I happened to be like not far the day they were racing, and I couldn't make it happen to get over and just go watch them race. But those HO guys, man, they are so stinking fast. And I think I met some of those guys up at the cave when I went up there. And yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, sounds like they're a great group of guys, have a lot of fun racing. So that's cool. And they're a pretty big group. They have quite a few tracks to run on, I think, too. John, yeah, they are M2, not sure the length. Okay. I thought they were M2. Yeah, they're pretty small ones, though. Yeah, Daryl, they're kind of based out of Dayton, I think. I'm trying to catch up with the chat. Once I catch up with the chat, we'll give away the super tires. Hey, Rampage. Thanks for joining. Question. Nice Maverick. Thanks. Interesting how the new Maverick is a pickup. I was really upset about that, Todd. Having owned a Maverick as a kid, it was my first car. That Ford reused that name. But people seem to like that small truck, but it doesn't, to be honest with you, it didn't make any sense. You've got the Maverick, you've got the F-150, and then you have the Ranger that's still out. And they all kind of serve the same purpose. But the Maverick is a car with a truck bed. That is the difference. It's not really a truck. I don't think you could pull much with it. My car's come back. Yeah, Jerry, mine too. So I just send a bad car and they fix it and send it back to me. That's what happens. Now, the Jake Dyke Special ran pretty good. From all over the state, they come up to Lucky Bob's in Milwaukee and spend a week with them in Aurora. That's cool. Yeah, I know they kind of jump all over the place. The race that I was going to go to was over in Dayton. Let's see. Never saw my Firebird run yet, Marty. Oh, the video? What you sent? Yeah. So I lost a hard drive and I lost a bunch of footage from the fast lap races that I have done before I could get them edited and posted. And so there are some fast lap runs that happened but have not been posted because the hard drive corrupted, and like the videos, the footage is bad. So I would either have to re-record or more stuff to knock off the track. That's right. They should have called the new Maverick truck a Courier. Official Area 51 cones. Nice. Man, I am so far behind. Todd, that was the question I was going to ask before my thumbs went haywire. You must be talking about why people subscribe and unsubscribe. Phoebe is good. Oh, I said Chloe, didn't I? Phoebe. Dang it. I knew that. My neighbor's dog is Chloe. Phoebe. I knew that. So many new channels out there. It's awesome. Yeah, there is a lot of new channels. A lot of people doing great work. Hey, Jamie. Jamie, good work on the tire tour. You and Seb and and Bruce. Very cool. I like it. Marty, do you have a link to the 3D print, a 30-second body rerun? Let me see if somebody has already done it. I forgot to mention that the slot invasion guide keel and adapter is only for 1/32 scale. There you go, Bo. Yeah. Hey, Curvy. Just doing a little advertising for the GRL. Hope to see some of you join. Yeah, if you have questions about the GRL, reach out to Joe Ares Carrera. And if you understand, that's the Global Racing League, and they basically post a track, and then you live stream some laps, and then whoever has the fastest lap is your winner for the week. And then they do different layouts over a period of time. I don't have all the details because I've not participated, but I've watched a lot of the live streams. And mostly it's all Carrera cars, mostly digital. Good stuff. Love the super silicones from Super Tires. Yeah, rerun that. They're good stuff. Question. Does anyone have experience with bearings rather than bushings when allowed? Makes sense, but does it show on the clock? Hey, Jamal. Welcome, man. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, if you building a car for the Labor Day event, please post it on Home Racing World so you get an idea of how many cars will be entered. Yep. Drink roast coffee. Going back to Steve, going back to your question, that's an interesting thing because it would make sense that the bearings would make the car smoother, but doesn't make it faster. Smoother should be faster. Friction is one of our enemies when it comes to slot cars, right? And so I would think that that be the case, but with those oil light bearings, bushings, I feel like they're so smooth most of the time as long as they're lined up correctly. So I would say they're lighter than a regular bearing. And so does the less weight even out the difference? It's a good question. I don't know how to test that other than, I mean, this car is bushings. Yep, front and back. You would need to take a car that you could actually do both, right? I don't know how easy that would be. There's got to be a way to do it. There's got to be a way to test it. I'm sure somebody in this chat has tested that. I'm curious. When you put Reba slot ball bearings working properly and less like a bushing, you can measure a significant performance increase. When you get them working properly. Yeah, I think that for me, I usually clean my bearings in some alcohol and get the oil that's they're shipped with out. And I find that if you clean them really good, they will actually roll better and for longer before you oil them. And then when you oil them, that the viscosity of the oil will slow that bearing down, but will prevent wear, right? If you don't oil them, then you'll get wear, and eventually that's bad. So, but that's why you don't overdo it. Just lightly oil them. And so I could see where just a car running smoother, they could be slightly faster. Ortman released earlier this year the 64 tooth rear and 18 for the PU tires, which close the gap of the inner rim ring on a 124 Carrera slot car. You may check it out. They are pretty neat. Cool, Bo. Thanks. I got my C1 to sit very nicely on Carrera track. Didn't shave anything in the guide. Hey, Kevin. Welcome. I believe Scale Auto makes ceramic bearings. I could be and is about a marginal gain when all things are even. Does anyone know if the slot depth on Polycar track versus Carrera track? The Polycar track slot is not as deep as the Carrera track because we found that out with the Spirit of America team. They all went with the wood guide and they had to do some work to the wood guide because it was creating a lot of friction in the Polycar track. But maybe somebody who has Polycar can speak to that, or somebody who was in Italy running on the Polycar track. When running, bearings go ABEX 7 or above. Yeah. Yeah, the 3s, those are just not as precision. Like when I was building skateboards, like the minimum I would do would be like 7s or even higher. And I like most of the time I'd put the ceramics on them just because they were so smooth. And I knew that they would hold up and last. Jerry just ordered the tire truer from Cincy Slots. I'll let you know how I like it in a week or so when I get it. Jerry, that would be great. I would love the feedback. I was thinking about doing the same thing just so I could give Bruce some feedback on it. But we'll love to hear what you have to say. All good now, Marty. I found the 380 username, 3D bodies from Amigos. Okay, rear end, great. Yeah, there's a section on Slot Car Corner's page for them, and you can see all the bodies that they have available. We have one or two classes that are more or less open or outlaw classes. I was wondering whether to peer into that rabbit hole. Steve, I would say that it's worth looking into. It's worth the test. I mean, I think anything is worth the test because what happens if you test it and it really is a great speed advantage, right? And I know you do all that. Late model kit will be orange, just ordered decals. Nice. Is that fluorescent orange or bright orange? Because when that gray, if you want it to be bright orange, I think you're going to need to hit it with white primer first and put a white base coat and then put the orange over top of it to really get the orange to pop and be the color you want it to be. It's my opinion, Dusty. But you'll want to make sure that that paint gases out before you start putting decals and clear coat on it. Hey, Bryce, good evening. Bryce has got a great new addition to his track. Looks good, man. I hope you're having some fun on it. Let's see. It's 9:18. Wow. Wait, how would we get here? The video of that track really gave you a great view and showed its greatness. Pictures really don't do it justice. Pete, I agree. It really, Kellen, my son-in-law, was trying to give me some B-roll and the lighting, because the garage doors were open, it was a little dark on one end. And so, we were trying to keep the bugs from coming in. We didn't have mosquitoes, but they had these big beetles that came in and a bunch of toads came into the garage, which I thought was funny. But yeah, it was a fun track. What else? Isn't Ian and Doug going to be in Cali for the Slot Car Nats? Yes, they are. Warren, what's up, brother? They are not on this weekend every 2 weeks. Okay, so they're off this weekend. Cool. I was just going to reach out to Joe and see. So maybe I will go live with Ian and Doug on Saturday, but it'll be Saturday noon Eastern probably, before 9 o'clock their time, before they have responsibilities for the slot at Nationals. So we're trying to squeeze it in. So Warren, hope you're doing well, man. What else? Yeah, I have a big petting zoo after the fair and a huge cookout, barbecue, brisket. Don't encourage him, Jamie. Don't encourage him. Hey, David. Dojo, what's up, brother? Good to have you. Feel like it's been a while. James, Reds are beating the Dodgers. That's what we want to see, man. James, the Ohio State Buckeye Group C car made it out to Colorado and ran on the track. Vera 8, first time. All right. Thanks for joining. I have over 300 hours on one of the Cincy Slot Truers. It's a game changer for 124 Carrera silicones for sure. Nice. I figured, Jamie, you had some experience with it. Bruce said that you were part of that project. So very cool. John, ball bearings. Gruff Shed has a new short on how good his BRM GT40 front spin after he did the work. Yes, I saw that. And I think he said, does your front axle spin like this? It went on for, I felt like it went on for longer than 30 seconds. It was impressive. Let's see. You must be talking about that car. White Wolf said it was a blast to drive. More Aussie guys all the time. Good fun. Yeah. Yeah, they have a great group over there. I would love to get over and meet those guys one day. That would be awesome. Hey, Shady Dave. Don't ever worry about being late, brother. It's all good. You can always catch the replay. My Revo Alpha gain was made with just the front bearing improvement by maintenance type clean out. Yeah. Yeah. Should do a road trip sometime. Okay. So once in a while, my subscriptions get out of hand. When my favorite channels start getting pushed out of the homepage, I tend to unsubscribe to channels that stop producing after about 6 months. Yeah, Bill. Yeah, every once in a while. And that's what sometimes happens. If somebody's not watching your channel very much anymore, they might unsubscribe to it. So, but, it was not anything. They don't mean any offense by it. Just cleaning out. Whatever happened to the stocky guy who was first on the show? His A1C was out of control and he had to cut sugar. Perfect for the job and the body contours. Gruff Shed also had a recent short on digital routed wood track filmed at a changeover track. Yeah, I saw that. That was good. I'll never improve my female numbers, Daryl. They're still like 1% of my subscribers. And most of them are like Bruce, who signs on as Gina. Hey, Gladstone. Just checked and I started my track build June 29th, 2021. I think you started two lines about the same time. Yeah, actually, I started in February of 2022. Yeah. So just after you. Okay, that's what I thought, Dusty. I painted my 67 Mustang white. Yeah, thanks, Dave. I'll be up there running some laps at the cave at the beginning of September. Yeah, White Wolf, I'm glad you're going to make it up there. Maybe we can coordinate and maybe some of us Southern Ohio guys can come up that same time. Tim, your first car was also a Maverick. Good choice. It was a great first car. The Mustang badging baffles me as well with the electric vehicle. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, Jamie. Dojo, you're right. They should have called it the Ranchero instead of the Mustang. That makes way more, or the Maverick. That makes way more sense. Ryan, Fast Laps is great. Ryan, thank you. I'm glad you tried it. It is fantastic. I love it. Yeah, Greg, I can't tell you how long I haven't lost a hard drive in years. And what I'm running the other track on is an old Mac that I was using for live streaming. And all of a sudden, I was using it to store video and I was running my timing off of it. And because not to go into the details of what I did, but I created 2 boot sectors so I could boot up in a Mac, I could boot up in Windows so I could run. And I think when I did that, I was saving the video files to the Mac side of the hard drive and I was running the timing system. So when I told guys I'm having problems with the timing system, it's because that crashed and I lost that hard drive and lost all that video and I lost my timing. And that's the biggest issue with the Oval is I really need to buy a computer specifically for it to do timing. But I don't think I'm going to get that video back. The Ford Maverick's name is based on a Texas rancher, so it's not really that far-fetched to utilize the Maverick's name for a pickup truck. Cool. The Australian Nissan Patrol 4-wheel drive were also badged as Ford Mavericks for a few years, 30 or more years ago. Express the importance of a good quality 0.9 millimeter driver. Stainless steel is the way to go. Printing parts for Harbor Freight slot car box conversion. Nice. A lot of people move to that box. It's very inexpensive and works great. Yes to good tools. Annoyed Scale Auto's use of 0.95, so you need a driver for that to replace them. Yeah, that's kind of a pain. I didn't have anything to do with the design itself. I was just testing with my monkey hands to see what breaks so Seb could make it better. That's Seb. He's a smart guy, man. 20 plus years on an MIP 0.9 driver, expensive, but you'll only buy it once. Yeah, that's the thing with tools, right? Filed down a bigger tool to fit. It's a bit dodgy. Yeah. I would say he's probably printing like slot car organizers. I think there's some patterns out there that people have posted that to help organize that box to fit slot cars. Must clean grease out of the bearings first. Yeah, for sure. Racer Sideways makes a decent 0.95 driver for Scale Auto, cheap too. Bo, I don't know what the coffee prices are in your, but exploding every week. Prices rise. Also chocolate prices. Bo, I'm sure. But I could live at the Milka factory in Germany. That was my favorite tour. They gave you free chocolate for going. I use model train oil. That is a very little drag. Nice, John. That's a good idea. I use the synthetic from Superlube from Slot Car Corner, and then I also have something from RC Car Days called Trinity Oil. I've had that little tube forever, and I use that sometimes too. It works really well. It's very, very light. Dickie prefers the standard NSR wood guide. Yeah, I think the standard wood guide worked a little better on the Polycar than the deep wood guide. I don't oil my bearings, haven't had any issues, but I will regularly clean them in thinner. Yeah, Nick, that's a good choice. Yeah, if you keep them dry, they do spin really, really well. Very smooth. Yes. I ran into that with the skateboards, John. Hub is back. What else do we have? Well, it's 9:30. I'm just feel like I'm rambling. But shout out to Slot Car, shout out to Super Tires for being the channel sponsor, and let's figure out how to give away some tires. After they are in use for a while, the tips don't fit as tight. Yeah, they start to wear down. Tim, I look healthier. Thanks. I had 3 people at church on Sunday come up to me and ask me if I was sick. So I don't know if I'm just looking really bad in person, but here are my numbers. My A1C, when we were friends here, right? I'm probably breaking all kinds of HIPAA violations by doing this, but my A1C was 8.1 at the beginning of March. A friend of mine from church had a heart attack, and he's just about 6 months older than I am. And it really spooked me, to be honest. I was like, man, that could be me. And I knew I was feeling heavy. I knew I was carrying a lot of weight. I was 263 pounds. And so I called and made an appointment with my doctor. Went to my doctor, had my blood work done. 8.1 was my A1C. He's like, listen, you're diabetic. I said, nope, I'm not, because I'm going to lose some weight and I'm going to fix this. And he's like, well, at 8.1, it's kind of the damage is already done, but good luck. But I want you to lose some weight. I want you to lower your cholesterol. I want you to just improve your blood pressure. And here are some of the things you're going to need to do. And he sent me to a dietitian, and the dietitian said, here's what I want you to do. And I basically followed his plan. And listen, I'm not going to judge anybody who goes and takes the shot. I'm not doing that. I've had a lot of people ask me if that's what I'm doing, if I'm taking one of the shots. And if that's what you need to do, do it. Losing weight is important because there's tons of health benefits. I was a really heavy snorer. And you can ask my brother. He roomed with me in Michigan this past year. My dad has always been a heavy snorer, and I just thought it was a hereditary thing. But I weighed 197 this morning. So do the math. That's quite a bit of weight. And I use an app to track my sleep. And my sleep score used to be around 120 to 140. And it would record all the times I was, percentage of my time that I was heavy snoring, medium snoring, light snoring, not breathing kind of thing. For the last couple of weeks, my sleep scores have been 1, 2, 3. And usually when I listen to the recording, it's not me snoring. It's like room noise, my fan. I've been sleeping better. My blood pressure is actually a little too low now. So I was able to eliminate medication. And so that's what I've been doing. Eating properly, counting all my calories. I track everything that goes into my body. I weigh myself every morning when I get up after I pee. And I track my weight. And I drink 120 ounces of water minimum a day. And those are the things I've done. And in 4.5 months, I was able to really get rid of some weight. So I really appreciate it. So there you go. Kind of get that out of the way. Because I've had lots of people reaching out, like privately, saying, hey, man, are you okay? And then I did my blood work about 3 weeks ago, and my A1C is 5.1. And my cholesterol was out of sight, low. And so in 4 months, I kind of fixed all my problems. My blood pressure is great. All those things. Sleeping better, no snoring. So if that's something you're thinking about doing and you want to talk to me about it, I will say that I've had very few people. Shout out to John Albright. When I first started and he noticed that I was losing some weight, he reached out and checked on me, make sure everything was all right. and gave me a lot of advice. Steve Sweeney, Steve gave me a bunch of advice just from a diet standpoint, that they had lost some weight and had some success. And so but I have a ton of people to talk about it. You know, your weight is kind of I was kind of ashamed, to be honest, that I'd kind of let things go and didn't really care. I was happy, but I knew that there were lots of things like going wrong inside, you know, from a health standpoint. So I had to get them fixed. So that's where we're at. And we did that. Now I got to figure out how to maintain this. Haven't had any cookies. Stayed away from sugar. Mostly I count my carbs. I don't do all low carb stuff anymore, but I count my carbs, control all what's going on in my body. And it was a lifestyle change. So it's not easy, but it's worth it. I'm almost to the end. Milka is the best chocolate on the planet. It is, dude. Sean, so when we were in Germany, our friends live like 15 minutes from the Milka factory. And that was one of the things we did, is we went and toured Milka. And I've been to Germany 3 times, and I've come home with hundreds of dollars worth of chocolate. And they sell it in the States because Nestle bought Milka. And they sell it in the States now, and I can go get a Milka chocolate bar, and it's still good, but it is not the same as what comes direct from the factory, what you can buy in Germany. Good stuff. But yeah. Guys, if I missed any questions, I apologize. Rambling, bench racing to make up for missing last week. There you go. Bo, I used to work here in Bremen for Kraft Jacobs in the 90s. Milka was among them. I've always loved Toblerone, though. Milka used to be good, but too expensive. Toblerone, I discovered Toblerone through my Spanish class. When I was in high school, we started selling Toblerone as a fundraiser for the Spanish club, and I'd never had Toblerone, and they're one of my favorites. I love them. I prefer the NSR coarser thread standard since I have less issues. John, I do like the NSR. I don't like that it's a flathead screw head, even though making adjustments with the flathead is actually pretty nice. It's easy to keep track of your turns. I really like Slotting Plus, because they use the same screws. Thunderslot uses the Torex, the T6, and I love that. I think it's super easy to adjust. They're great. They don't strip out, don't have problems. And so a lot of my cars have those screws, but I really do like those NSR screws. So my chainsaw is quieter than him. Yeah. Not now, bro. Not now. Steve, doctors are known drug dealers. I am lucky. I have a doctor who did not want to prescribe. He wanted me to figure out how to lose weight. But he was worried about my cholesterol, and he was worried about my A1C. But we're working through it. Any presence of Lindt chocolate in Europe? Lindt is, you can get that in Germany. It's good. But yeah, chocolate prices have gone way up. Way to go, Marty. It's not easy to reduce your diet to get healthy. Ron, thanks. Yeah, it was hard. Thanks, Jannard. I appreciate that. There for a long time, for about 4 months, I have not enjoyed anything. And I've had to find new things. I just saw Alan. Don't tell anybody about the Trinity Light bearing oil. Most of my tools migrated from RC stuff. I use Huddy on NSR. Seems like 0.55 would be better. Alan, yeah, the Trinity oil is good stuff, man. I've been using it. I've been using that Trinity oil for lots of things over the years. It's really light, and it's so good. Hey, Marty, thanks, man. But if you find, like, for those of you out there that might be struggling with the same thing I'm struggling with, and you need somebody to talk about it, reach out to me. I'm happy to talk about what I did and give you exact details. I've found some, like, two things that I crave: chocolate chip cookies, because I love to bake. Dusty can attest to that. I bake cookies all the time, and I crave chocolate chip cookies, peanut butter cookies, and pizza. Those are the two things that I knew was going to be the hardest for me. And I've found this protein. I make this protein crust, and I can make a whole, like, 13-inch pizza, and it's only like 600 calories, and it's like 80 grams of protein or whatever. And my wife, we love it. And so it's replaced like regular pizza, but you can only make that homemade, right? And so I make it for us, and about every 2 weeks she'll go, I want pizza Friday night. I'm like, all right. And so I'll make them, and I can eat the whole pizza, and I still have plenty of calories, right? So you have to find things that are trigger food for you, and find replacements for it. Like ice cream, I don't really crave ice cream a whole lot, but I do like ice cream. But I've been making smoothie bowls for breakfast, and that craves any sweet tooth that I have. Those smoothie bowls are fantastic. Put a little bit of peanut butter, some protein powder in them, and they get real smooth. And it's good. Jerry, the pizza and pasta, I do miss pasta, but we've done some of the chickpea pasta. Sorry, guys, this turned into diet instead of slot cars. So the chickpea pasta is not bad, and way lower carb and calorie. So, and it doesn't mess up your blood sugar, which is good. Kevin, that is awesome, dude. That is incredible. Well done. I mean, I'm 63. I'm 66 pounds, something like that, 67 pounds in at this point. And my goal was to get under 200 before I saw my kids. And I weighed 200.3 the day we left. And when I got back, I weighed 197. So I feel pretty good about that. Yeah, dude, I feel a ton better. It's not the same, but still good. Yeah. The chocolate. Yeah. I knew you would take care of yourself when you first told me about it. Yep. George was one of the first guys I kind of said, hey, had a bad doctor's appointment. And George really gave me some encouragement. Rerun. That's awesome, dude. 220 to 180. It's not easy, man. It's hard. But man, when you make it happen, it's worth it. There should be no shame amongst men discussing anything that can improve our health. Yeah. Yeah. My friend Mac, man, having that heart attack really was like a wake up call for me. I was like, dude, I've always looked up to him, and church, and they're like, hey, Mac had a heart attack yesterday. And like, it was like it was a big one, a bad one. And this guy is physically fit. Like he was in the Army, he was a Ranger, like legit great shape. And I think he has some hereditary problems, but it was really a wake up call for me. Yes, Bo, Belgium. There's some great chocolate from Belgium. Yeah, man. Congrats, Kevin. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Gennard, I love chocolate. Yeah. Chocolate's good. Like for me, like I can do some dark chocolate. And it just doesn't have a whole lot of as much sugar in it. Right. Which is why it's a little bitter. Where are you from? Ocean States. Jobs, lots are all over New England. Lindt is a major presence in Australian supermarkets with lots of cocoa levels. Yeah, John, same here. They are good. I haven't made them for a while, dude. I'm kind of missing them, but so I have made chocolate chip cookies, but you guys are gonna laugh. They're made out of they're hummus, they're chickpea, and right out of the oven, you can hardly tell a difference. It's amazing. But if you let them cool and become like regular cookies, They're not near as good. They're okay, but if you get them hot out of the oven, you can't tell. So pizza baking show next week. Yeah, Jamie, I can talk about that. Cutting out pizza helped my minor gastric reflux issues a lot. Yeah, John. As good as pizza is, it does cause some problems, but changing to turkey pepperoni was a big thing. Send some cookies by Jerome. There you go. Cookies and pizza. Yeah, man, it's tough. Yeah, thanks, JD. John, that's yeah. Love the C1, my Revo slot and slot at 510s. They're going to need some track time. Gennard, yeah, those are great cars. They really are. I think you'll enjoy them. Yeah, get them on the track. Elaine and I got us each a smart ring for our anniversary this month. I check it every day, actually, compared to my cardiologist appointment last Tuesday. Very close numbers. Nice. Greg, that's cool. Is that the Aura ring? Or is it actually called Smart Ring? Dude, George is the best, man. I'm telling you, he's one of the best dudes you'll ever meet. I think the world of him. And not just because he's in here. My wife works for Weight Watchers, so I have to behave myself. KR, nice. All right. So let's wrap things up. Let's give away some super tires, and then we'll call it an evening. I didn't mean to run over, and I didn't mean to talk so much about, but a lot of guys were asking me, and I thought it would just be easier if I just put all the information out there and we could move on. But thanks for the compliments, guys. It does feel good. I went from a 2X shirt to this is a medium. And my wife just shakes her head, which is funny. She has never, I'm not saying this very loud, so she didn't hear me. She's never said anything about my weight loss. No compliment, no nothing. I think she's afraid that if she says something, then I'll become conscious of it. And so she just kind of like watches it happen. But the other day she finally said that I lost enough. So I only have a half a bottle left. Was trying to find some OG tire tweak Trinity used to have. Found out must have it's discontinued. Needed for 124 sponge tires. Cool. Robert, thanks, man. I'm glad I didn't run everybody off. Hopefully I don't lose a bunch of subscribers because we turned into diet chat. All right. I'm going to try to see if I can pull everybody's name out of this comments of the live chat. And I'm just going to pick someone I come to randomly. And so the very first person to win super tires and okay, randomize this list of people, and whoever ends up on top is going to be our Muffman79. You are the winner of these super tires. If you will send me, I'll put my email address in the chat. It's also in the description of my channel. If you're still on, send me an email and I will forward your information with your name, address, and a phone number. Actually, I don't need your phone number. If you win white tires. So the winner is Muffman79. Congratulations. Send me a message. Give me your information. If you happen to not be on, hopefully somebody reaches out, lets you know. And if for some reason you don't send me, Pam, Pamela says, we can make white tires. See, be careful what you ask for, Daryl. Be careful what you ask for, brother. So shout out to Super Tires. Pamela is in the chat. Pamela, thank you. Muffman79, send me a message. We'll get your information to Pamela, and Pamela will send you, you can communicate and figure out what 3 sets of tires you want and some awesome Super Tire stickers. And if you give me your address, I'll send you out a 2-line sticker as well. So, guys, this has been fun. Again, sorry we kind of got derailed there at the end, but I appreciate everybody listening, and appreciate you being here. So, thanks to Super Tires for being the channel sponsor. That was exciting to give something away, and we'll continue to do that each week for a few weeks, and have some fun with it. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. Daryl probably does have 2,000 pairs of Super Tires, and they're on everybody's car, not just his cars. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Super Tires. Thanks, Pamela. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Harry and George and Dave for sending me the cars. And you got another car coming. So good night. Go have some fun racing.